What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So earlier I made a video addressing Warren Sapp's comments about Cam Newton. For those who don't know, Warren Sapp called Cam Newton a glorified running back. Okay, and I refuted that statement. And I laid out my arguments. I basically said that when you call somebody a glorified running back, you're saying that the person cannot throw the football. That's what you're saying. You're saying they're trash. They're trash and they can't throw the football when you call them a glorified running back. And so I went and refuted that. I said, well, a glorified running back does not throw for on average 3,300 yards for 8 seasons. For 8 seasons that that for the 8 seasons he was in Carolina, well, I think it was more than 8, I believe, but he had injuries or whatever. But for the times that he was the main starting quarterback and he was healthy for the most part, on average he threw for 3,300 yards a year in Carolina. And I said, glorified running backs don't do that. Now, I'm not putting in the interception numbers or whatever, because my argument is not that Cam was elite. A lot of y'all took me defending Cam and refuting him being a glorified running back as me saying he was elite. That's not the argument I'm making. Cam had one elite season. He had some good years here and there, some good years, but he wasn't a terrible, he could throw the football is what I'm saying, right? But a lot of y'all took it as, oh, y'all wanted to prove to me that Cam was not elite. And that's not my argument. My argument is that he's not a glorified running back because when you say that, you're saying he can't throw the football. And see, this is the can of worms we open when we allow that type of criticism and that type of critique. Because a lot of y'all don't like Cam's his judgment of Brock Purdy. You feel like it's overly harsh? Do I feel like it's overly harsh at times? Yes, I do, especially with the way he just performed in the last playoff game. Brock Purdy played excellent. He played, I'm talking about dominant football. He did, for sure, right? But a lot of y'all are getting the harshness of his critique of Brock Purdy getting in the way of what is really being said by Warren Sapp, okay? Because if Cam Newton was a glorified running back, what was Michael Vick? I'm going to ask y'all that. Mike Vick is revered, is looked at like a football legend, a god, like he revolutionized that position for dual threat quarterbacks, and he did, okay? But people revere Mike to the heavens and love him and brag on Mike all across the board. Do y'all know Mike only threw for 3,000 yards 2 times in his career? And both times it was in Philadelphia towards the end of his career. Now, his second year in Atlanta, he threw for 2,900 yards. Okay, solid. But the other years, 2,400, 2,300, 2,400 yards. Mike, come on, man. Like, that's for real. And if Cam got 8 seasons of throwing over 3,000 yards, and Mike only got 2 seasons of throwing 3,000 yards or more, who the glorified running back of the crew? And a lot of y'all not going to want to critique Mike Vick like that. Y'all are not going to want to say Mike was the glorified running back. Warren Sapp himself is not going to want to say that because he reveres Mike. He respects Mike. But if you're going to say that about Cam Newton, you got to for damn sure say it about Mike Vick. He was a glorified running back. And they don't want to do that. See, this is what happens. Same thing, when dudes, I was saying this previously, when people would criticize James Harden so much, and I criticize James Harden a lot. But those same people that criticize James Harden would at the same time put Tracy McGrady on a pedestal. In the hood, Tracy McGrady is admired. He's revered, especially for how Kobe Bryant speaks of, because Kobe speaks highly of T-Mac, and T-Mac won a scoring title, and he was scoring a lot of points. He was a 7-time All-Star. He was a prolific scorer. And Kobe, basically, he spoke highly of T-Mac. And I'm going to say this too. Kobe spoke highly of a lot of people that never beat him. He spoke highly of all the motherfuckers that just could not beat him. Him and Michael Jordan got that in common. Okay, but anyway, and I asked people, y'all, how you going to judge, how you going to clown James Harden when T-Mac never got out the first round with a prime Yao Ming? How's Mac really that great like that? And people don't like when I say that because we revere Mac in the hood, but let's be for real. How's Mac any greater than James Harden when he had a prime Yao Ming and couldn't get out the first round? And the moment Mac got hurt, McGrady got hurt, they went to the second round. You put LeBron James on a team with a prime Yao Ming, they getting out the first round. You put Kobe Bryant on a team with a prime Yao Ming, they getting out the first round. Put Stephen Curry on a team with a prime Yao Ming and getting out the first round. Okay? Kevin Durant, they're going to get out the first round with Kevin and Yao Ming to me. So, you know what I mean? So you criticize one dude, it's going to open avenues for other guys that y'all revere to get criticized. And a lot of y'all, I asked the dude on my previous video, if Cam was a glorified running back, what was Mike Vick? He never responded to me. Because they don't want to admit what's for real. If you going to trash Cam, you damn sure got to trash Mike Vick. Because let me tell you something. Mike won 2 playoff games his whole career. Cam won 3. Now, you know, argue about, oh, well, all right, Cam, just because he won MVP does not make him elite. I never said he was elite, but that's just true. Rich Gannon did win an MVP. But my argument is that Warren Sapp saying that Cam is a glorified running back would insinuate he can't throw the football, and a dude that threw for over 3,000 yards, on average 3,300 yards, 8 seasons, he can throw the ball. Warren Sapp just don't like Cam. Okay, I've seen interviews on Vlad TV where he criticized Cam for not jumping on the football when he fumbled. He called Cam a bitch for pouting and all of that type of stuff. He talks about how the way Cam dresses. He don't like Cam. Okay, that's all that it really is, and so he's trying to take shots. But if you say something, if you want to compare him and his boy Mike Vick to Cam, I'm going to be for real. Yeah, Mike had a big impact in Atlanta and all of that. But Cam had a better career than Mike, for real. Mike won 2 playoff games. Cam won 3. Cam went to the Super Bowl. Mike didn't go to no Super Bowl. Cam was MVP. Mike ain't had no MVP. It's just for the culture, we hold Mike near and dear to our heart because how electrifying he was on TV. But what make him any more better than Cam? For real. So that's what I'm saying. He not gonna say that about Mike Vick. He ain't gonna hold Mike to that same standard. He not. They both went to the playoffs. Him and Cam and Mike both went to the playoffs a total of 4 times. They both went to the playoffs 4 times. He not going to call Mike a glorified running back, though. He going to make it, oh, he's a dual threat. He ain't going to say the same shit for Cam. He not. So that's what I'm saying, y'all. I'm not arguing that Cam was elite. I'm refuting the statement that he was a glorified running back, because glorified running backs don't throw for 3,300 yards. They don't. Cam threw for 4,000 his first season. And 4,000 yards he threw for the first season, right? He had, He had 21 touchdowns, 17 picks, but 21 touchdowns he threw for 4,000 yards. And then he ran for 14 touchdowns. In his whole rookie year, ran for 14 touchdowns, threw for 21. 4,000 yards. Glorified running back. Next year, threw for 3,800 yards. Next year after that, 3,300 yards. Next year, 3,100 yards. Next year after that, 3,800 yards. Next year after that, 3,500 yards. Next year after that, 3,300 yards. Next year after that, nearly 3,400 yards throwing. Right? So, come on, man. Like, it just, to me, I can't ride with that. Warren don't like Cam. And again, if I'm Cam, man, listen, Warren be talking crazy, calling me a bitch, pouting like a bitch, all that. I'd have been the first one saying, boy, you bad pussy. Don't talk to me. Excuse my language, y'all. I know y'all might not want to hear that. Any man buying pussy like that and you an NFL player, you can't use your clout and your cachet to get up out of here, dog. You ain't got no mouthpiece like that. All the dudes, they be like, I'd rather pay her to get it over with. Bro, you ain't confident in your game. All that talking he be doing, and Warren look like he be on some coke off that booger sugar too. And listen, Warren is he is a Hall of Famer. He was way better at what he did than what Cam did. Way better. Gold jacket. But facts, the truth is truth. The boy wasn't no, when you say he's a glorified running back, you saying he can't throw. He never gonna criticize his boy Mike like that. He not. And a lot of y'all don't want to face that shit, but it is what it is. He wasn't no glorified running back. I don't care about the interception numbers or the completion percentage. To throw for them yards he throwing for in the league, you cannot be no glorified running back. You can't. Mike didn't even throw for that type of shit. He couldn't. So what are we talking about? Like, come on, man. And they both got again, Mike won 2 playoff games, Cam won 3. They both went to the playoffs a total of 4 times. Mike ain't never went to the Super Bowl. Cam went to a Super Bowl, won a league MVP. Mike ain't got that. So who really had the better career out of Mike outside of making the Falcons exciting to watch and making them relevant and all of that? Like, for real, like, let's be for real. Mike, Vick was a popular jersey amongst us in the hood. We wanted to play with Michael Vick. We wanted to play like Mike Vick. But as far as career achievements go, y'all act like, what did he achieve more than Cam? Nobody gonna criticize Mike like that. They not. And y'all can say Cam opened himself up to this criticism. But even if the criticism, even if he did open himself up to it, you can't call Cam a glorified running back and can't say the same shit about Mike Vick. And people don't want to say that about our legends in the game, but let's be honest. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, he wasn't no glorified running back. Cut it out, dog. Cut it out. Especially, like I said, Greg Olsen and Ted Ginn Jr. was the best options, and he was making that shit work. Greg Olsen was a dog, though, but Ted Ginn Jr. was some booty. Peace.